It's
right.
time for a chat with Pat.
Yes, and today we have with us Andrea Picciotti-Bayer. I think I said that right. And she is a legal analyst for EWTN News and director of the Conscience Project. And we're talking about an article she wrote for the National Catholic Register called Parental Rights Are a Cornerstone of American Law. Welcome. How are you doing today, Andrea?
I'm great, Pat. How are you?
It's great to have you back on. You do such wonderful work. This was a great article. Boy, it brought to the forefront a lot of things going on. So what are parents facing in some of our states concerning their parental rights?
You know, Pat, the biggest challenge to parental rights today is the kind of injection of gender ideology across the board, whether it's in school systems or social service programs. There's an effort to kind of substitute the ideologues for the role of parents, especially dealing with developing young people, teens, preteens, young women in particular, that are being kind of sold a bill of goods about their identity as female. And parents have been kept out of helping guide them through that confusion to a proper understanding of their own kind of beautiful and wonderfully made selves.
So you were a part of a kind of a side event for the United Nations Commissions on the Status of Women. Any takeaways from that event where you spoke and shared?
Yeah, no, this was great. It was a co-sponsored event by the United States as a member nation, as well as the Center for Family and Human Rights, the Heritage Foundation, and other family groups, basically pushing back against the effort of a lot of these international organizations to impose gender ideology as a form of civil rights and human rights, and instead say, hey, this is actually harmful to women, to girls and young women, to their good. It inflicts violence. It cuts them from their natural supports. And what was wonderful is the side event was packed. Lots of people are being drawn to this message because lots of people realize that what women and girls need most are the people that truly love them.
Right. And I think, you bring up some great cases here. So can you explain maybe some of the cases that are currently being pursued in this parental rights court cases?
Yeah, people may remember from the State of the Union address that there was a mother and daughter that were highlighted by President Trump,
Yes.
Michelle and Sage Blair. They're from the Commonwealth of Virginia, where I'm from, and Sage was just 14 years old when her school was basically allowing a secret transgender transition. And I put that in scare quotes, without letting her mother, Michelle, know about it. Clearly Sage was really struggling with mental health issues, ended up running away, being trafficked, being placed in a group home, not with Michelle because Michelle wouldn't agree to transition, to the transition of her daughter, and was abused in that group home, which was for boys, and then trafficked again before she was found by police. Now she's back home. She's recovered, and she's attending Liberty University on a full scholarship. It's a terrible situation, and it's not unique, where schools were basically complicit in severing the natural ties between a daughter and her parents, in furtherance of gender ideology's goals, and that the parents wouldn't give up. Michelle wouldn't let go, and as a result, we see this young person being able to heal from just terrible abuse. There are other cases similar to that involving schools secretly transitioning children in the state of California, where the Supreme Court has basically stopped a policy allowing that to happen. Also in social service agencies, where parents that wanted to foster or adopt were told that they needed to be willing to affirm gender ideology, just kind of carte blanche, and they said, we're not going to do that. And they're winning in court as well.
So you mentioned, I think it's Kaylee Childs or Chills, a Christian therapist in Colorado Springs. Is she taking hers to the Supreme Court too? Is that about being able to talk about gender ideology and the confusion, and that it is a confusing time, and not just support it? Is that going before the Supreme Court too?
No, absolutely right, Pat. I mean, there's so much going on. It's a very
Yeah.
exciting time that we're in. Kaylee Childs has her case currently under review by the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Oral argument and briefing is all completed. We expect a decision by the court any day now, probably even before the
Oh.
court's the end of the term at the end of June. And this again is the state of Colorado imposing basically a gag order
Yeah.
on therapists, only requiring them to affirm minors who come to them with gender confusion, even though Kaylee is receiving families and their minor children with gender confusion that want a Christian outlook so that these children can deal with their natural dysphoria or their dysphoria, and to be able to find the natural peace with their own biological reality.
Yeah.
And she's saying that this is basically a violation of her First Amendment rights because her faith will not allow her to put those kind of words into her mouth and to share that with her patients. But instead, she says, and she's rightly saying, she's guided to only share with them what is true.
Yeah. And you mentioned the case where a detransitioner was awarded $2 million in New York after.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I must admit, this is what drives me a little bonkers, Andrea. As soon as that happened, then all of a sudden, certain medical associations came out opposing gender transitioning. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
you supported it before they had to pay. And that was frustrating. I mean, I was happy.
I I agree with you. I'm very happy, only because people are using these medical associations as somehow a marker for what reasonable care should be.
Yes.
But I tell you, bring on these cases, because there is unfortunately a generation of our young people that have been tricked into pursuing these really suspect interventions, double mastectomies, puberty blockers, and they will never be made whole again. And the people accountable for these lies need to be held financially responsible, and hopefully that kind of financial discipline will force these people out of practice and realign care so it can truly be care.
Exactly.
And not this unprofessional kind of rabbit hole that we're bringing these young people down.
Yeah, it's like they're using young people to experiment on. I mean, I feel like this is all one big experiment, and it's so against human dignity to do this stuff to them. Just
Amen.
amazing.
At least we're winning. I think
Yes.
we're winning, and the tide is turning.
I think you're right, Andrea, and thank you for reporting on all this stuff. We need to know this stuff, and it certainly does give us hope when we see cases being won by parents who love their kids and only want what's best for them. So thanks for being with us today, Andrea.
Thanks, Pat. Have a great morning.
You too. Bye-bye.